Okay, awesome. All right, well, I'm so excited to have you guys on. I love seeing all your faces. It's just always a lot of fun to get to come together. I love, like you guys know, having the cameras on. So um, I have really just some things that I want to share tonight. I am going to try to keep this short. I know sometimes that I say that, but tonight I do think I am going to hit that goal and keep this short. But this is an important huddle. And so if you're watching the recording, this is, and just for timestamp purposes, this is our Sunday night team huddle. And it is February 24th, 2019. And we are just so excited to have you all on. My desire on these huddles is always to create value. Our desire is always to give you content, belief, to give you nuts and bolts, to give you nuggets that you can then take from tonight and implement it into the week. And so I feel like this call tonight is really important for that because we are starting close week. So we have today, and we will be closing out all of our business on Thursday night. So we're going to talk about a couple of those things. But before we do that, I just have some two people that I wanted to congratulate as we get this call kicked off. And the first one is we have a brand new area manager on the team, Alicia Whitfield, which is so exciting. She has a great team. They're all working so hard. She has just promoted to area manager, and you can get to district on your own effort, but you certainly cannot get to area on your own effort. That does require a team and having a team effort. And so I'm just so proud of those ladies. I know that they're all working hard. They're all really passionate about 30 days to healthy living and the skincare. And so they're doing a great job. And so because Alicia promoted, that means that Fallon Cruz is now an executive area manager, which is also a great accomplishment. And Fallon as a team, they're over halfway to region. So that's so exciting. So I share that with you guys. And if you're in a place where you're like my business isn't where I want it to be, don't hear that and think I need to compare with Alicia or Fallon. Don't ever compare yourself. Comparison will steal the joy. It'll steal the excitement that you have in your own business and your own journey. What you really want to do when you hear that is use that to inspire you. Use that to motivate you. Use that to maybe challenge you and say, you know what? I think those ladies are awesome, but I don't know if they're any different than I am. So if they can do this, I can go do this, right? And so that's what I want you guys to see. But we are just so excited to congratulate them on those accomplishments because, that's a big deal to be halfway to region and to be an area manager. We don't take that lightly. There's only 4 management levels in Arbonne. So they're halfway to the very top by becoming an area manager, which is so exciting. So I want to tell you guys that we've been having a great month. February is a short month, and sometimes I think because we come off the holidays and New Year's and we're just kind of getting rolling, sometimes we can be like, February is a little bit of a slump month, but for us it is not, okay? You guys are doing an excellent, excellent job. As a team, as a whole, we have really great sponsoring. Really great sponsoring. But what I am noticing is that we have a little bit of a discrepancy. We have some people that have killer sponsoring, and then we have other people who have like very little sponsoring. And I'm not calling out who is doing one or the other, but when you hear that as a team we're having really great sponsoring, get excited about that. Know that you're a part of a team that has a system for success. We're obviously teaching you guys what to do, but then look at your own business. And look at your own sponsoring. And if right now I was like, hey, we're going to pop up like team numbers, would you love what you saw? Would you love the number behind your name? And if that thought of like, oh gosh, I don't want them to know how few people I've sponsored, then you just decide that you're going to go change that, okay? At the end of every month, you really, as a minimum, our system, right, is 8 PCs we're looking for and 2 consultants. And you really want to be at a minimum sponsoring 5 people into your business personally, okay? Really great numbers, what the kind of the bar is, the goal we're looking for is 10. 8 preferred clients, 8 people, ideally getting the PC account and getting an ASVP. And then 2 people that are saying, hey, yeah, I want to do the business with you. And if you have some combination that's different, if you're like, well, my numbers are kind of flopped. Like everybody I'm sharing with wants to do the business with me, and I can't really find anybody who wants to consume the product yet. That's okay too. It's not a bad problem to have, but that's where you want to be. So right now, if you don't know what your number is, if you don't know how many people you've sponsored so far, go find that. Go figure out what that number is. And if it's not yet at 5, decide that by Thursday night at close, when we tie this business and wrap it with a bow for the month of February, that you'll have 5. And you guys have heard me, if you've been around me for more than 30 days, you're going to know, you're going to hear this, and you're going to hear it over and over again, that at the end of close, you're going to go to bed with one of 2 pains. And you're going to have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And I, as a leader, want to teach you guys always how to go to bed on close night with the pain of discipline. And the pain of discipline is literally like, I'm so tired, I'm blissfully exhausted, my eyes maybe feel like they're going to bug out a little bit, and if I have to text one more person, I think my fingers might hurt. But you go to bed knowing whether or not you hit your quote-unquote goal for the month, you left it all on the table. You left it all on the line, and you didn't sit there thinking, I wish I woulda, coulda, shoulda, I could have done more, I should have done more, I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't do more. That's the pain of regret. And I can only speak to this because I lived for a long time in my business, month after month after month, with the pain of regret. I would start the month really excited, really pumped, and, big goals. And then it would dip. And instead of course correcting and holding myself accountable and making myself go do the things I didn't feel like doing, I just wallowed in it, or I justified it, or I excused it. And then what would happen is we would get to close, and I would be scurrying to try to find the signups or find the volume. But because I hadn't done the work, and I hadn't even done the work in those that last week of close, I didn't have that to bring in. And so I did go to bed many times with that I wish I woulda, coulda, shoulda feeling. And I had a mentor one time tell me, she's like, Missy, just stop shoulding all over yourself and just go do the work. And I was like, oh yeah, I should stop shoulding all over myself, right? And just go do the work. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight is going and doing the work. So we want to have a close week mindset. So a close week mindset, to me, really can be summed up in 2 phrases. The first phrase is if it's meant to be, it's up to me. If you start looking at your close week business and you start thinking, well, I hope she does this, or I hope he does this, or, I wonder who they're going to sponsor, you have a little bit of a wrong mindset. As a leader in this business, you're going to lead from the front, you're going to model, you're going to inspire, and you're going to be the best consultant on your team. We heard this last week from, I think Lori talked about this, or somebody talked about it. We heard it in the training about not benching your best player, right? So we're not going to bench our best player because hopefully you are the best player on the team. That doesn't mean you're going to be competing with those that are on your team. If you have shared market, if you have people in common, you're still going to be looking to help your team. You're going to be looking for ways to support one another. My 2 direct uplines, I've gone to church with them the entire time I've been in Arbonne. We have, we're a church of about 600 people. There's been many times where we've had common market, and it just is a mindset of team building where if I've talked to them, and maybe my upline talked to them, they would be placed with me because it was part of being in the team. It's the same thing with family members. It's the same thing with, if you have coworkers, things like that. And so have wisdom on that, but at the same time, just know that it's this really beautiful combination of like, you're working hard and you're leading from the front, but you're also in a servant business. This is a business where it's not about just you running the race. You're saying, how can I help as many other people run the race with me and run it well, okay? That's why we wear shirts that say this, live to give. We live to give of our time. We live to give of our inspiration. We live to really come alongside people. And so that first mindset is, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. So I'm going to give you guys some practical things here in a minute of, well, what can I be doing over these next 4.5 days to really get myself to where I want to be? And I'm going to give you the reason behind, the why behind why you want to get to that place by the end of this month. Okay. The second thing, when we talk about a close week mindset, and even just in business in general, is I want you to lead before you have the title. Okay. So I am not yet a national vice president, but I work and I lead my business as if I'm a national vice president. You can be a consultant. You need to work and lead yourself and your teammates and the business that you have as if you are a direct or a district manager. Wherever you are, it's that next level that you want to be leading from, that you want to be thinking with that kind of level of leadership, and you act like that and you lead like that long before you get paid like that. I have never once seen somebody promote to regional vice president who acted like a district manager. I just haven't. And what does that mean, a district manager or a consultant? Maybe I should use that as kind of like, well, waiting for someone to, put a meeting together, waiting for someone to find them a training, waiting for someone to organize whatever they think that they need. Take that initiative and go put the things in place that you need for your business. If you need to run a 10-day detox because everyone you're talking to about 30 days is like kind of balking at the cost, then just put one together. And if you need some help, you have all the resources that you need. You can ask your upline, you can ask sidelines. Okay, hey, you can just learn as you go. Don't wait for the title to then lead. You want to lead before the title comes. So if you're right now a consultant, think, how does my upline district manager act? How does my upline area manager act? How does my RVP act? How does my NVP act? What does that look like? And you start to model after that long before you get paid at that level. Okay, that's how that works. It's about, and my high school back home, yes, Katie is the cutest, and she loves to say WWTD, which stands for what would Tara do? And I love that. It is true. And Katie's a great example. She's modeling after what would Tara do. She's learning from her. My high school, or the place I went to high school, they just won their third hockey state tournament title 3 years in a row. I watched the game online last night. It was a lot of fun. And they interviewed the coach at the end. And I thought what he said was brilliant. And what he said is the two things that we talked about all year with our team is be responsible for yourself and be accountable to your team. And when he said that, I'm like, boom, you could have a whole Arbonne training on those two things, those two principles right there. Be responsible for yourself and be accountable to your team. And it's the same in this business. Be responsible for yourself. Be responsible for your sponsoring, for your activity, for showing up, for being on the calls, for getting the training that you need. And then be accountable to your team. If you're not doing what needs to be done, be accountable. If you see somebody not doing what they say that they want to do and they can be doing, hold them accountable, right? I loved that. It was so simple. He didn't talk about like mindset of a champion or work hard or things like that. It was just be responsible about yourself and be accountable to the team. And so it's going to be that same thing. So the two mindsets you want to have this week, you want to be thinking, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And the second thing is lead before the title. Lead before the title. Lead before the title. Because you guys, that is a principle that I can be teaching my kids who are 11, 8, 6, and 3. I can teach them to lead before the title comes. Lead before you get put on a certain team. Lead before you get asked to do something. You lead before you're asked to have an official title. Too many times in this world, people want to get, crowned a title and then show up to lead. And that's backwards. That's not how this works in life and especially in this business. So what's that going to look like this week? I want to give you guys some practical things to be looking at. Okay. The first is we have our next 30 Days to Healthy Living group coming up on March 4th, right? So we are in a time where we're not yet into warm weather, but people are like smelling it. They're itching for it. They know short season is hopefully around the corner. I know people in like southern Minnesota, you guys are like in the Arctic tundra right now, and I'm praying for you because I can't even get over how much snow you're in. But And I'm sure the same thing in South Dakota and North Dakota. But what I am going to tell you is you guys know that spring is around the corner. And what spring does is spring does motivate us to stop hibernating like bears in the winter and eating our weight in cookies and wearing sweatshirts and sweatpants and all these things. So 30 days this time of year always becomes more attractive to people because they start to think, okay, I'm coming out of like the winter slump. I want to start feeling better, right? What I am going to encourage you guys to do is that we really want to have a deadline on people ordering their 30 days to healthy living kits. I would recommend Tuesday and probably no later than Wednesday. The reason is if you wait until close day or close night to get their 30-day orders in, more than likely they are not going to get their orders in time, and it drives people bonkers. They like get all antsy about it if they don't have their products on by Monday morning or Sunday night, okay? So we can still be collecting orders, and if you have people on close night that are like, yeah, I want my 30-day set, just kind of mentally know a day or two after we get their orders in, you're probably going to send them a message and just say, hey, just a heads up, there's so many orders that come in on close night that I'm going to recommend that we start you on the March 18th group. Okay. They'll have that week to prep. They'll get all their stuff in time. It just is I don't know. And maybe Tara or Laura, you guys can chime in on this, but I have just found if people do not have all of their products on like at least a few days before day one, they just get antsy and weird about like, well, I can't start, or what do I eat? And it's like, you can eat. They just feel like they can't eat. So I am really working to get all of my orders for March 4th closed out by the 4th or 5th. Okay. So how are we going to maximize this? I have put up a post this afternoon. If you want to look at mine as an example, you can. Don't use my pictures. Okay. My pictures are not going to speak necessarily to your market. Use your pictures. You probably have a before picture and you probably have an after picture if you've done the program at least one time. If you haven't yet done the program, it's okay. You just use a picture of yourself with either some Arbonne product or not an Arbonne product. It can just be you, and you make a post of, I'm really excited to start my 30-day journey. I'm really excited to get off, the sugar binge. I'm really excited to get energy. Whatever those things are for you, you guys, you have to customize the post for you. As much as we think people want to see all these before and after people, or like pictures of like generic people, I don't really think they do. I think what they want to see is you. My before and after pictures are 10 years apart. My before and after pictures are from my engagement before I was getting married at the age of 21 and like 12 years later. Okay, so they don't have to be like you in a bra top and shorts standing somewhere, in front of a blank wall, and like you have this picture and this picture 30 days later. You're just showing, I've lost some inflammation, I've gained, some energy, or maybe you're doing things that you didn't do prior to healthy living lifestyle, like running or a Zumba class or something. Okay, so come up with some post that is specific to you and have a call to action of why you're sharing this, what you're excited about, and that you're inviting people to be a part of it. I think it's very ineffective to post like the stock shake pictures or the stock product pictures that Arbonne has. I think people want to see you. They want to see your story. They want to hear your struggle. Be honest. If you're like, okay, you guys, I'm going to be super transparent. I drink 17 Diet Cokes a day and I don't want anybody to know, because I'm the Arbonne lady, or, I'm smoking 2 packs of cigarettes, or whatever it is. Just be honest and let people know this is where I'm at. And I've decided March 4th is like D-Day, and I'm going to get better and I'm going to get healthier, and I'm looking for some people to do this with me. So make a really personal post, invite people to be a part of it. I find it helpful to post on Instagram and connect it to Facebook. I think it hits both platforms really well. I don't know if this is everybody's settings, but when I post on Instagram and then feed it to Facebook, my privacy setting is only my friends. So I always have to go in and change my privacy as soon as it posts on Facebook, so it's public, so more people can see it. Some people are going to post, but lots of people are going to like it. And so you go then tomorrow, if you post it tonight or within a couple hours, and you just respond to those people, hey, thanks so much for liking my post. It's kind of uncomfortable being so transparent, but I'm really passionate about, or I'm really excited about what I'm doing, or I'm passionate about doing this program again. Do you want to do it with me? Okay, and you're, again, inviting them, because people might not just post on the comment, send me information or private message me information, okay? But use it really to be personal. And again, if you have a before and after picture, that's great. But if not, just post a picture of yourself and then give a little example and maybe list 2 or 3 symptoms that you're looking to improve. Maybe it's your skin. Maybe it's your sleep. Maybe you've got irritable bowel. Maybe you don't poop enough. I don't know. Just you can get really honest with people. I think people love that versus like, I'm just looking to get healthier. Because they're like, well, what's that mean? But they're like, oh, you don't poop either for 5 days. That's me. You're going to learn how to poop every day. Great. Like, tell me more. So just get personal with it. Okay. Second thing I want you guys to really look at is look at your QV number. And really write down tonight, whatever that number is, that you want to at minimum double it. If the doubling of that number does not get you into qualification for district manager, then you want to write the numbers for district manager. And I'm going to recap these because we have a lot of new people on the team. When I said that our sponsoring, you guys, is really good right now, it is really good. I was text messaging with our upline, Deanna Holdren, and sharing our numbers with her, and she's like, your all's number, you're killing it. We're killing it on the sponsoring. There's definitely room for growth, but what we want to do is we want to help everybody that's a new consultant or not yet in qual for district. We really want to help get you into qual for district, because March they're coming out with some pretty dynamic things that I cannot tell you, that are really going to help get you promoted in December. Okay, so you want to take advantage of getting into qual this month. So how do you get into qualification? Is you have to have at minimum $1,000 PQV, which is personal qualifying volume, as a consultant. And this is your own orders. This is PC orders. This is client orders. Okay, this is your mama, your grandma, your sister-in-law, the nice few ladies that you work with who don't maybe want to do anything with the business, but they're going to give you some orders. These are the people that we're calling this week, you guys. Okay? Tara takes care of my mom's Arbonne orders. She calls my mom every month. Every month. For 10 years, we've been calling my mom. Mom, do you need any Arbonne? Okay? Not because we're depending on my mom to keep us afloat in business, but call your moms, call your sisters, call your sister-in-laws, call your best friends, call your cousins and be like, hey, you guys need some mascara? You need some protein powder? Like, scoop in those little orders, those little itty-bitty orders. Like, just today I entered almost a $500 order because it was like a couple people needed a bag of protein or a little bit of fizz or a concealer. I mean, it's just little things will add up, okay? So getting into qual for district is either $1,000 PQV or $2,500 in team volume, which includes you and all of the consultants that are signed up to you. So if you've signed up a lot of consultants this month, and maybe your PQV is only like $200, but your team volume is at like $1,500, that's great, but you got to get either $1,000 in that first column or $2,500 in that second column. So when you look at your dashboard or your web reports, and if you don't know where that is, you just talk to your sponsor. It'll say your name, and then the first number is your PQV. That's the number on the left. And then the number on the right is your team volume. And that has to be at least at 2,500, okay? Or, like I said, the 1,000. It is better to get closer to that 2,500 than to just shoot for the 1,000, because you still, over the course of 2 months, have to do 6,000 in volume. So if you do 2,500 this month, then you're almost halfway there and you can do the 3,500 next month. If you're right now, you guys, there are some of you that are over or around like the $2,000 mark already, like team volume, you want to be setting your sights for 6,000 by the end of Thursday night. You can go finish district manager in the next 4 days. Finishing district manager is so much of a mindset and a decision than it is of like, well, where do I find it? Because you can scoop in volume all day long. You can blast out messages, you can go live on your story, you can do lots of things if you decide I'm going to go get this done. Okay. So that's what you want to be looking at. And that was something that Deanna asked me, and she's our upline executive national vice president. That was something she texted me and she said, Missy, please communicate to your team. They all want to be getting in qualification for district manager this month so they can complete next month. If you're already a district manager, you're like, well, what's my strategy? Your strategy is to help somebody get into qualification for district manager direct to you. You're going to be teaching them to do the 2,500. You're going to be doing your own 2,500. So what does that look like as a district? That looks like you're bonusing, right? A bonusing district manager is a great place to be. It's a great paycheck. And that's the same whether you're an area manager, whether you're a VP. Okay, so you really want to get into qual. So look at your numbers. Maybe your numbers are well over qualifying for district, or maybe you've got somebody in qual. Look right now wherever you're at and look to double those numbers, okay, those team numbers. If doubling it, like I said, does not get you into qualification for district, then that's the number you want to be looking at. It's whichever one you need, that's what you're going to be looking for, okay? So, like I said, big things are coming in March. If you've got past preferred clients that have rewards, you want to be reaching out to that. I'll make some posts probably tomorrow of just reminders of, hey, this is, but what we're going to be doing, you guys, over the next 4 days is we're just looking down every rabbit trail. We're going to go back through who have I done an overview with in the last 90 days, and they're kind of just sitting there on the fence, or they're just swirling in my funnel. Who's tried a sample? Who tried a drop kit? Who came to a party? Who have I been like texting with? They kind of were curious, about 30 days, like New Year's, and then they couldn't make a decision in time. You want to really lead from the front. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Lead before the title. Think, okay, what are Missy and Lori doing? What are the area managers doing? How are they looking at these next 4 days? And if that's where you want to go, then that's what you're going to start doing. So you're going to start, this is a business sometimes of just tracing down rabbit trails. And then you can also go back to people that have purchased with you this month or last month or the month before or the last 6 months. And you can let them know, hey, I hope you're loving the skincare. Would you like to try some protein? Or I know you're loving 30 days. Can I get you started on some skincare? Assume that people want everything, you guys. Don't ever position yourself to be like, wow, they're already using all the nutrition. I can't imagine that they'd want to spend more money on the skincare. Heck yes, they do. Why would they not? They love what they're getting, the results they're getting from their nutrition. Complement it with the skincare. Add on the cosmetics. Get them on the new shampoo and conditioner. It's phenomenal. Like, we have to know that we have everything that people are wanting. We just have to ask and we just have to offer, okay? And then anytime, this is maybe a little insider tip, anytime someone sends me an order or like text me an order, I run into somebody and they're like, hey, I'll take this, this, and this. I almost always say something like, do you want 1 or 2? Because if they're like, hey, I need a bag of protein powder, digestion plus, and some fizz, I'm like, that's so awesome. I make sure I know what the flavors are. And then I'm like, do you want me to order 1 or 2 of each for you? And sometimes it's like, oh, just 1's good. And sometimes it's like, well, just order me 2 of everything, right? So we have to help lead people to that. If somebody's ordering a couple things, if they give you some things and you can just say, hey, would you like to try the new shampoo conditioner? Do you want me to add that onto your order? It has a 45-day money back guarantee. If you hate it, we'll return it. It's no problem. Would you like to try it? Right? Think about just like kind of like upselling. I used to work in a restaurant, and, like people would order cocktails and we would upsell them to like a more premium liquor. It's the same thing, right? We're just trying to add to their cart a little bit. We're trying to give them a little bit more. And it's a really natural way to do it. It's not weird at all. They're free to say no. Just don't assume they're going to say no. Right? So have a couple things this week as you're reaching out to people, and think about, hey, you know what? I'm just going to ask everybody if they'd like me to add a mascara to their order, because I love it. It's my favorite. I think everybody should use our mascara or the primer or the serum or whatever it is. And just start practicing that skill, or the fizzies, and just be like, I mean, in my opinion, everyone should have fizzies. I don't know. I think the world's less a happy place for people if they don't have fizzies. Like, fizzies will make their life better. So every person, when they're like, hey, I need this, this, and this, say, great. Would you like me to throw in a box of fizz for you? It's my most favorite Arbonne product. And if you hate it, we'll return it. You got 45 days. They might say no, but they might say yes, right? So those are just some ways, you guys, that we can really maximize these next several days. But I want you guys to remember that we're not just looking to scoop in volume. You're looking to grow your business. So you're looking to increase your sponsoring this week. You're looking to add to your team. You're looking to find your next business partner. And that will come when you are asking. We've said this before. I love the phrase, get your ask in gear. Get your ask in gear. Stop thinking about yourself and start thinking about other people. You're not on this call tonight because you don't want to grow a business. You're not on this call tonight because you've ever thought, I wish the lady that shared Arbonne with me would have not shared Arbonne with me because I'm annoyed. No, you're like, I want to kiss her face because I'm so grateful that she was willing to share this with me. People will have that same response to you. Why would we think any differently that they wouldn't? Right? None of us knew about Arbonne or were looking for Arbonne when it was presented and offered to us. So we have to carry that same mentality that most of the people we're going to ask in these next 4 days know very little about Arbonne, and they're not looking for what we're offering them. But when they're offered it and when they catch the vision, they're going to be so glad that we asked them, right? That we got brave and we asked them. So last thing that I want to say is we have our weekly virtuals. Jenna Davis did an excellent job this past week on the virtuals. She did a 30-day overview. She was really great. This virtual this week is on the skincare. The event is already up. Area manager Megan Rieken is going to be leading that. So you want to be plopping people into that. You guys, people can watch that, and you can be scooping in orders Wednesday night and Thursday before close. Who doesn't want beautiful skin? The title is Skin That Glows. Who doesn't want better skin? Who doesn't want better choices? And so Megan's going to do a great job with that. We have to kind of load the bases again for our next 2 months of virtuals. So if that is something that you are like, you know what, I would love to do a virtual. I would love to have the opportunity to lead in that way. Let your upline, like district manager or area manager know, and we'll see if we can plug you in, because I think that it's a great platform to let lots of people practice. You're going to just be sharing for about 15 minutes. The product, and then a little bit about the business, the PC account, all those things. But I think it'd be great if we have just a variety of people, personalities. So if that's something that you would like to do or would want to do, we'd love to hear from you, and we'll hopefully get you on this schedule. So Lori, before we close out, is there anything else that we should touch on tonight or cover?
No, I'm good. I don't have anything.
All right. We're glad that Lori's alive. Lori has been struggling with the flu and bronchitis?
Yep.
Took her out for a little bit. I think maybe the car presentation. It was like the pinnacle of like promoting Christmas, moving, car presentation. And then her body's like, I'm going to take a break. So I'm going to give you the flu to take a break. So we're glad that she is feeling better. So, okay, team, we are at 27 participants. Do you think we can get over this 30 mark? I feel like this like mark of 30 is like so silly. Like we can totally get there. There's so many people plugging into this team. And I do want you guys just to know as we finish, I am so proud of you. And I know where we can finish this month. I know where we're going, and we're creating momentum that if you don't yet feel it in your own business, you're going to start to see it very quickly if you keep staying connected to us and keep doing the next right things, where you're going to feel like you can't stop it. So if you're not in that place yet, get your calendar loaded up, get activity. You guys know the bar is 40 faces in a month, right? That's what this requires if you want to be getting a paycheck and earning income and promoting. And so just know that we have awesome momentum going in this team right now. There's lots of fun things that are happening that are kind of hard to explain, but what I can see and what Deanna can see is really awesome. And so we're just so excited. So I'm excited for the next 4 days and where we're going to finish. I have high hopes that February is going to be our largest month yet. We finished out in November, I think at 126. And so I would love for us to get past that this month. And I think that that's absolutely possible with everything that's going on. So, all right. I love you all so much. Thanks for hopping on. Get some rest, get some sleep, and let's just start attacking the week tomorrow morning when we wake up. So, all right. Love you all so much. Have a good night.